Hello, I'm Ollie and this is CriminOlly, where I talk about crime, pulp, horror, that kind of thing. Today, I blew it. Here's an update on my Read What You Own challenge. So this video is going up on Thursday the 13th of November. Normally on a Thursday I put up a review video, but today I'm putting up this breaking news video instead because yesterday I broke my Read What You Own challenge. Having only started it a week before, I weakened yesterday and bought a book. And ironically, the book I bought is the book that I would have been reviewing in this Thursday video if I hadn't bought it, if that makes sense. So let me tell you what has transpired. And what I'm going to do about it. So, there is a book, The Gas by Charles Platt, which is a book that I have long wanted a copy of. And I, in fact, made a video a while ago called, I think it was called My Perfect Shelf or Your Perfect Shelf, where I talked about books I would really like to own a physical copy of. A few months ago, I actually purchased a copy of this book from eBay, and then the seller obviously realised that they priced it much too low and they cancelled the order. So I've been on the lookout for a copy of this book for a reasonable price, because it normally goes for at least £50, if not, typically a lot more than that. I've been on the lookout for a copy of it for quite some time. I did have in my rules for the Read What You Own challenge a caveat that if I came across a book I really wanted when I was out and about, in a charity shop or something like that, I could buy it. But I very deliberately didn't put in any sort of exemption for books that I found online. The simple reason for that being, it's easy to avoid finding books online, or at least in theory it should be. I just don't go on eBay, I don't go on Vinted. Now, I did, in response to that video, the My Perfect Shelf video, somebody did very kindly send me a digital copy of the book. So I've read it, and in fact I've read it this week, and decided I wanted to make a review video about it. It's a very over-the-top, very obscene book, but an interesting book in many ways. So I decided I wanted to make a review about it, and I googled it in order to find some more information about the background to the book and the author. And in doing so, Google flashed up, copies for sale, and it showed me that there was a copy for sale on eBay for £13, which is an absolute bargain for this book. So I debated it for a while, and in the end decided that this was an opportunity I didn't want to pass up. And given that I'd only just started the Read What You Own challenge, so I'd only read 4 books of the 100 that I planned to read for the challenge, I decided that I would buy the book. So what that means is I have blown my challenge, but I'm going to start it again. And I'm going to give myself a penalty as well, because I don't want to be tempted to do this again in the future. So, as I say, the stars aligned in an unhelpful way for this in this particular instance. I don't see this as something that is likely to crop up again as a problem. So I'm not planning to change any of my exemptions. I think the rules I came up with for my challenge were appropriate. But I am going to have to start the challenge again. So I'm resetting my counter from 4 back to 0, and we'll start again. And the first book I'm going to read in my reset challenge is actually going to be this book, Sweet Evil, which is also by Charles Platt. So when I do that review video of The Gas, I'll do a combined review of that and this book, because I think there are similarities between the two. So in terms of a penalty then, I'm going to give myself a 10-book penalty for having done this. So my target, rather than being 100 books, becomes 110 books. And to make sure I definitely don't do this again, or if I do this again, I'm suitably punished, then if I buy another book and break the challenge for a second time, I will give myself a 20-book penalty. If I do it a third time, it will be a 30-book penalty, and so on. So if I'm ill-disciplined, I could end up with an eternal Read What You Own challenge, but hopefully that won't happen. So yes, so I start again from tomorrow. I'm reading something at the moment that I started before I bought this book, so I'm going to finish that, and then my counter will be reset to 0, and my new target will be 110 books. So I think that the final thing I wanted to say is I don't want everyone else to sweat about this. If you're doing the challenge yourself and something like this happens, then it's completely up to you how you deal with that personally. These are personal challenges that we set for ourselves. As the person who originated the Read What You Own challenge, I felt like I should be completely upfront about the fact that I'd broken it, and that I should punish myself in some way for having broken it. So that's why I'm setting myself a penalty. I'm definitely not saying that if somebody else breaks the challenge and decides they want to start again from the beginning, that they have to set themselves a penalty. It's not a global rule by any means. It's just what I am planning to do because of the fact that it was my challenge in the first place. So that is my update for today. You will get a review video of The Gas soon. It's going to be a very difficult book to talk about, and I suspect that Sweet Evil will be just as difficult to talk about, but I'm keen to talk about it. So I will leave things there, other than to say apologies for having let you all down. I feel like I've let you down and I've let myself down. But hey, I'm getting a shiny new, quite rare book, and I will show that in an upcoming book haul. Anyway, let's leave it there. I will leave you to your days. If you are taking part in the challenge, hope it's going well for you. And as always, thanks very much for watching. Hope you're safe and well out there. Hope you're reading good stuff, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Cheerio.